Let us continue the sample solution for plus 2 CBSE accountancy for term 1 examination. The question number 7. Which of the following is true regarding salary to a partner when the firm maintains fluctuating capital accounts? There are two types of account. One is fixed capital method and fluctuating capital method. Under fixed capital method, there are two accounts are to be maintained. One is current account and in capital account. In fluctuating capital account, only fluctuating, that is capital account is to be maintained. So, here what they are asking, salary to a partner when the firm maintains fluctuating capital method. Fluctuating capital method means only one account is to be maintained, that is capital account. Here what they are asking, debit profit, partners loan account and credit P&L appropriation account, debit P&L and credit partners capital account, debit P&L appropriation account and credit partners current account. Please remember, if it is current account, if it is a fixed capital method, this is the answer correct. The debit P&L profit and loss appropriation account debit and credit partners current account. Here fluctuating capital method, under fluctuating capital method, P&L account, P&L appropriation account is to be debited and partners capital account is to be credited because there only capital account is to be maintained. So answer D is the correct answer. And then question number 8. At the time of reconstitution of a partnership firm regarding on unrecorded liability, that means a liability. For example, the firm has obtained any loan from a bank, but it has forgotten to record, that is unrecorded liability. If unrecorded liability, then what will be whether there is a profit or loss to the existing partners? Normally it is a loss to the existing partners. There are 4 answers given, gain to the existing partners. So it is not a correct answer. Loss to the existing partners, it is a correct answer. Understand? Question number 9. E, F and G are partners sharing profits in the ratio 3:3:2. According to the partnership deed, G is to get a minimum of 80,000 rupees as his share of profit every year, and any deficiency on this account to be personally borne by E. The net profit for the year ended 31st March 2021 amounted to rupees 3,12,000 rupees. Calculate the deficiency to be borne by E. So first of all, we have to find out the share of Mr. G. G is what is a share? 2/8. 3:3:2. That means his share is 2/8. So what is the profit during the year? 3,12,000 rupees. So his actual share will be, G shares 3,12,000 into, 2/8. That means 78,000 rupees. So it is according to the profit sharing ratio, his actual share is 78,000 rupees. But the guarantee given by E, the partner E, to meet out the deficiency, if there is any deficiency, he will meet out, he will bring in the balance. So the actual 78,000 rupees, but agreed value, that guaranteed share of profits, that is 80,000 rupees. So the remaining will be the deficiency. So 2,000 rupees will be the deficiency. It has to be borne by the partner E. So this is a correct answer. There are 4 answers given. The one is 1,000, 4,000, 8,000 and 2,000. So the deficiency of Mr. G's share of profit is 2,000 is to be borne by E. That is a correct answer. Question number 10. At the time of admission of a partner, what will be the effect of the following information? The balance in workman compensation reserve is 40,000. Workman compensation reserve is nothing but a reserve we have already created to meet the contingencies in case of future. If there is any claim, compensation claim in future, that amount will be utilized. That is the reserve we had already created. The claim for workman compensation, actually the workman compensation claim is, actual claim is 45,000, but the reserve available is only 40,000. So still we need 5,000 rupees. So increase in liability. If it is increase in liability, in revaluation account, we have to debit I am the increase in liability. So what will be the answer? 4 answers are given. The first one is 45,000 debited to the partner's capital account. It is wrong. 40,000 debited to revaluation account. It is also wrong. So the 5,000 rupees debited to revaluation account, that is a exact and correct answer. So this is correct. Okay. Question number 11. In the absence of the partnership deed, a partner is entitled to an interest on additional capital advanced by him at the rate of. Actually, according to the Companies Act, no partner is entitled to any interest on additional capital advanced by him in the absence of the partnership deed. But there are 4 answers given. So, entitled for 6% per annum, that is not a correct answer. Entitled for 10% per annum on the additional capital, that is not a correct answer. Entitled for 12% per annum on the additional capital, this is also not a correct answer. Not entitled for any interest on the additional capital, that is a correct answer. So, answer D is the correct answer. Question number 12. Revaluation of assets at the time of reconstitution is necessary because their present value may be different from their normally market value. That is a correct answer. There are 4 answers is given: market value, net value, cost of asset, book value. So, exact answer is market value is the correct answer. Question number 13. If average capital employed in a firm is rupees 8 lakhs, average of actual profits is rupees 1,80,000 and normal rate of return is 10%, then the value of goodwill as per capitalization method of average profit is. There are 4 answers is given. First of all, we should know the formula for capitalized method. So, the goodwill, actually goodwill equal to capitalized, the value of the firm minus average capital. So, value of the firm, how to find out value of the firm? The value of the firm equal to, average profit divided by normal rate of return. So, here average profit is 1,80,000 rupees. Normal rate of return is 10%. That means divided by 10 means 10 by 100. So, the 100 will come up. So, 0, 0 cancel. So, that 18 lakhs will be the value of the firm. So, goodwill value. So, the goodwill equal to 18 lakhs, the value of the firm, minus average capital 8 lakhs. So, the goodwill should be 10 lakh rupees. So, what it is given, we will see. The first answer is 10 lakhs. So, the first is correct. 18 lakhs, 80 lakhs, 78 lakhs, all these things, all answers are wrong. So, answer A is the correct answer. Please mark it. Question number 14. In which of the following situation Companies Act 2013 allows for issue of shares at a discount? Normally, the companies issuing shares at a discount is not allowed as per the Companies Act. In some circumstances, it may be allowed. For sweaty equity shares, it may be allowed. So, what are the answer is given? Issued to vendors, issued to public, issued as sweaty equity shares. That is a correct answer. None of the above is not the answer, but issued as sweaty equity shares. It can be issued at a discount. So, answer is C is the correct answer. Question number 15. As per section 52 of the Companies Act 2013, securities premium reserve cannot be utilized for. First of all, you should know securities premium reserve. What is security premium? When shares are issued at a premium, that amount is to be transferred security premium account. But according to the section 52 of the Companies Act, that security premium account must be utilized only for issue of full bonus shares and writing of discount on issue of shares, writing of preliminary shares. So, for these purpose we can use it, but one purpose it should not be used. What they are asking in the question, according to the Companies Act 2013, security premium reserve cannot be utilized. That is, cannot be utilized, but means it cannot be utilized for writing of capital losses. That is a correct answer, but it can be used for issue of fully paid bonus shares, writing of discount on issue of shares, and writing of preliminary expenses. These purpose can be done, but it should not be utilized for writing of capital losses. That is a correct answer.